I'm here today to help you quiet the loud ticking of your biological clock. I've been noticing this pattern of women coming in and sitting in my office and voicing the same fear that time is running out. And today I want to help you quell that. I'm Dr. Dowdle Cina. I am a Stanford educated clinical psychologist and trauma and relationship expert. I've been helping clients for the past 15 years work through their traumas, heal them, and create amazing relationships with themselves and others. So one day, a couple weeks ago, I had four women come into my office and voice the same fear, even though they were in vastly different situations and different ages, that time was running out. And this was really about creating a family and finding partnership. I just was sitting there thinking about, first of all, the privilege that I have in hearing the commonality in our experiences across people, that I realized that people aren't necessarily hearing that everyone is feeling this way, or a lot of people are. It doesn't matter the age and it doesn't matter the exact situation. So I just want to talk about how to manage that. I also say that I had this idea that I needed to have a baby by 35. And when I found myself single again at 34 and no baby in sight, I had to throw that timeline out the window. And I was able to approach dating and finding partnership and having my two children from a different perspective and a whole different energy, which was one of openness and acceptance and um, actually a place of being calm because I had let go of this ticking timeline. And so that is the paradox of this, that the more you're obsessed with it and the more you're focused on it, the more it can keep you from getting what you want. So I'm going to talk today about some ways to manage this. First, one, I just want to validate it is really hard to want something that is not fully in your control. And yes, it does have a timeline, a timestamp on it. You cannot have a baby throughout your entire life. This is true. If this is purely about wanting to have a biological child, there's a timeline, there's a deadline. This alone is it puts some pressure. Um, and it's not the same as you saying, I have a goal and I'm going to go achieve it and I'm going to tick, tick, tick these boxes until I get it. And for me, as someone who is achievement oriented, I was able to do this many times in my life and say, this is the goal and this is how I'm getting it, and then go get it. With partnership and having a baby, it doesn't work that way. It's not fully in your control. Finding partnership isn't fully in your control. And also the timeline it's going to take, even when you're in partnership, to have the baby and to go through that process. Everyone's journey is very different and unique. And so that's hard. That's a hard thing to have to sit with. So I just think acknowledging that piece of it is helpful in just calming yourself down a little bit. Two, this fear is programmed into us as women. Yes, there's the biological feeling of the urge to have a baby and how our bodies are designed, but there's also the systems around us in our society and the fear that people put into our brains that make us feel like time is running out and we need to do the thing and there's pressure. And acknowledging that you can see that and feel that, it doesn't mean that you need to give into it and necessarily do anything about it. Some people that I have known have felt so much pressure and wanting to be a mother or wanting this so badly that they go and they make choices from a place of fear and decide to, take that road or go down that road with someone that may not be the right fit because it's like, okay, I just can't handle the uncertainty. And so I would just say that you have to acknowledge that this is hard and that there's a fear around this and that there's pressure. And also, it doesn't mean that you have to abide by that and that you have to behave from that. So you can feel the feeling without it being the thing that is guiding you and making decisions for you. Another thing I would say, give yourself checkpoints. So think about running a marathon. If you spend all of those 26.2 miles thinking about what your time is going to be, how fast you're going overall at every moment, you are going to miss the race and not be present for it. And you're also just going to be lost in the weeds, right? If you have checkpoints for every mile, let's say, okay, my first mile, I'm running 8-minute miles. So that means I'm going to run about this for the whole race. Do I need to go slower? Do I need to go faster? All right, the first 6 miles, this is how fast I ran. You have checkpoints to check in with yourself. How are you doing? I think with this process, as weird as that might sound, maybe you give yourself checkpoints where you say to yourself, let's say, okay, at this age, I'm going to make a decision if I'm going to freeze my eggs or not. Doesn't mean you need to know that right now necessarily, but you're saying at this age, I'm going to make a decision around that. At this age, I'm going to make a decision if I have a baby on my own. At this point, I might make a decision. I've been trying to have a baby, it hasn't been working, then I might try IVF, right? Like, it doesn't mean you need to know right now every single point, but that you give yourself some checkpoints and try to then say, all right, in X amount of years, I'm going to make a decision about freezing my eggs. So for right now, I'm going to be present. I'm going to approach this dating world, this whatever stage I'm in, without having to think about when I'm going to have a baby or if I'm going to freeze my eggs day in, day out. Like, give yourself a timeline and try to set it aside and come back to trying to be present. Okay. You can't control a lot of the elements in this process, but take an honest look at yourself. Have you continuously been dating emotionally unavailable people? If that's true, go to therapy, start working on that. You can still date while you go to therapy and work on that. Doesn't mean you have to pause everything. But I have noticed that when people really feel like, I don't have enough time, they feel like they can't do the work because they're like, I got to be out, I got to meet the person, versus like sometimes taking a pause or doing the work alongside dating to actually heal some of the patterns you're in is going to help you. It's going to help you get where you want to go. Maybe there's a mind shift that needs to happen around dating. Maybe trusting the process a little more and trying to um, let go of some of the anxiety around this where you can, so that you're not showing up to it with such a sense of urgency and scarcity and fear. The question around this is like, how do you make yourself ready and open? If you had the mindset that this was the last little bit of time that you were going to be single, or that you had before having a baby and then your life is forever going to be changed, how would that change your viewpoint? How would that change how you're approaching this, as opposed to, I might never get this, I have to hurry and I have to rush? Like, shifting into, maybe these are my last few years of not having a family, because it's a beautiful thing, but there's also responsibilities and things that come from that, that if you're so focused on getting that, you might miss all of the good things about being single and about having this space and time before all of this happens. It's shifting yourself into a place of believing that you can have this and believing that it's coming your way and it's coming soon. Here are a few things I want to say that you should not do if you don't want to waste time. So, staying in a relationship with someone who says that they don't want a child, or they don't want to commit, or maybe they're saying maybe, 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 and you're waiting. That doesn't mean on a first date that you need someone to tell you exactly what their intentions are. But if you've been with someone for multiple years and you keep thinking they're going to change their mind and commit to you, or some pattern's going to change, or they're going to wake up one day and decide they want a baby when that's what you want, but they've never said they wanted that, cut the cord. Cut the cord. Go find someone else who is clear about wanting that. Because again, the paradox about feeling like you're don't have enough time is, you're like, oh, well, I don't have enough time to leave this relationship and find another one and get what I want. So I got to stay in this relationship. But then people end up wasting years hoping someone's going to change their mind versus starting afresh. And that's actually a more efficient way of going about it. When someone tells you who they are the first time, believe them. If someone says they don't want a child and you're hoping they're going to change their mind, or they've been saying maybe, 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 believe what they're saying and let it go, and go find someone who's a hell yes on the things that you are also a hell yes on. So those are my tips for you in getting to a place where you can quiet that biological clock. Okay. So we don't want to waste time. We don't want to waste time hoping that someone else is going to change. But we do want to do the work we need to do so that we're ready and open. We do need to realize that this is programmed into us, this fear, the fact that all of these clients come and sit in front of me with the same feeling, regardless of their age, is telling us this, that it's not actually based exactly on getting closer to when I'm no longer going to be able to have a child. A real pressure, and doesn't mean that you need to succumb to it and that you need to react from that place. 3, give yourself checkpoints. Say in your mind, you're going to make a decision at this age or that age. And that might help you calm down now in the present so you can enjoy your one beautiful life now. And lastly, sweep up your side of the street. Do the work you need to do so that you're ready for the relationship, for motherhood, for whatever it is, right? Like doing that work for yourself, sweeping up your side of the street will be the most important and helpful thing that you can do to get yourself in a place that's ready and open. Lastly, do not waste time waiting for someone else to change their mind or be someone that they're not. Accepting the truth and the facts as they are is a really solid approach to most things. Please subscribe to my channel and come back again for more tips for living a healthy life, relationships, and healing trauma.